Hello, welcome to my video blog. I'm Adelaide Demoa and I'm an artist. Okay, so this video blog, I'm calling Egocentric Masturbation. Yes, Egocentric Masturbation. We can discuss the reasons at a later date, but in case you are jumping up and down with curiosity, go to my blog and read the post entitled Egocentric Masturbation and the one that's linked from that, and you will get a bit of an understanding as to why I'm calling it that. Because I think this whole video blogging experience is a bit of that. Um, Moving on, I've had 4 solo shows since my first in 2006, and apart from one, the rest of them have been curated by myself and a few people who are very important to me. You know who you are. And my very first one, Black Brits, was in 2006, was covered by the national press. And what I did was switch the skin colours of certain British icons from black to white, white to black. And the purpose was to examine the nature of iconography, the nature of what it means to be elevated to that status of icon in the collective subconscious of the people. So it was looking at notions of identity and race, and how those people had transcended their race to get to where they were. The next one was Black Lipstick, and that one was a lot more personal. I was looking more inside of myself, and it was inspired by a relationship that I had, and it was looking at themes of dominance and submission within that particular relationship. But what was interesting was that several people had some things to say in terms of the way that it appeared to be objectifying myself in much the same way as it's perceived that black women are objectified and kind of stereotyped and portrayed in a certain way as these kind of sexual objects. That wasn't the purpose of what I was doing at all. But recently I read a feminist theory called the patriarchal bargain, and that made me think about that particular exhibition and how what I was doing in that exhibition related to that. And that also brought up certain experiences. I think we all know as women that sometimes there's a bargain that you make, there's a bargain that you choose to make in terms of the way that you identify yourself with the men that hold the power in whatever industry it is that you are in order to progress. But I'll discuss that later. I find that quite interesting. Then I went on to supermodels, and supermodels was inspired by the size zero debate, and the size zero debate reached fever pitch, I think, in 2006, yes, with the death of the model Anna Carolina Reston, and the British Fashion Council's refusal to ban size zero models from the catwalk, as so many other fashion councils were doing. And so that one wasn't just looking at the modelling industry. I ended up looking at celebrity culture and the way that females were portrayed in celebrity culture. And because of the themes that I've had, well, specifically 2 exhibitions to do with women, I'm often asked if I'm a feminist. And where I haven't studied feminist theory to that degree, I'm learning about it through my experiences and through the reading that I'm doing. So that's something that I would like to discuss and have debate on, and in going forward. And then after that, I was commissioned by the National Centre for Domestic Violence to do a series of 10 paintings looking at the theme of domestic violence, and that was organised by a media company called Full Portion Media. Thanks to Teresa from Full Portion Media for that. And basically I got to interview quite intimately a few domestic violence sufferers who had gone through the National Centre for Domestic Violence and really get deep into their experiences. And it was a very emotional experience, and some of that combined with my own experiences and led me to produce a series which I think I felt was my most impactful to date. And I also wrote and performed my first poem. It wasn't the first poem that I've written, but I performed a poem live at the event that had some people running out in tears, because it was very, very emotional, and it was emotional for me to read as well. So if anybody's interested in me performing that, just let me know, and I will do it on my YouTube channel for you. But be warned, there is a lot of swearing and stuff in it, and it's very real. And lastly, what I'm going to be doing is selling some of my older work, so works from 2002 to 2006/7, which is much smaller work than some of the work that I've exhibited in my solo shows. I have exhibited some in some group shows, and that work I think is easier to sell via the internet because it's a lot smaller. So I'll be posting some of those on eBay for people to bid on if they're interested. And I'll also be initiating some discussions about what inspired me to do each piece. I'll do sort of a mini video blog with question and answer session if that's required for each one. And that's it. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and feel free to comment, rate and subscribe, ask questions, initiate discussion and debate about various issues surrounding some of the work that I've done. And if you read my personal statement on my website, which I've posted below along with my blog, you'll get a better idea of where I'm coming from and where I'm going in future. So if you've got any questions that you want to ask me about that, if any artists out there that are trying to do things independently have any questions about the way that I've done things so far, and you want some frank and honest answers, feel free to send me a message and I will answer as quickly as I can. And that's it. So till next time, take care of yourselves and each other.